Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Code Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation is from Surah Mahalla Nama, composition of the 9th Nanak, Gur Tegh Bahadur, and it begins with the reflection, the Rahau. The recitation, Surah Mahalla Nama, Prani Kaun Upau Karai, जाते भगत राम की पावै, जम को त्रास हरै रहाओ। कौन कर्म विद्या कहो कैसी, धर्म कौन फुनि करी। कौन नाम गुर जाकै सिमरै, भव सागर को तरी। कल मैं एक नाम कृपा निध, जाहे जपे गत पावै। और धर्म ताके सम नाहिन, एह बिद भेद बतावै। सुख दुख रहत सदा निर्लेपी, जाको कहत गुसाई। सो तुम ही मह बसै निरंतर, नानक दर्पण न्यायी। सुख दुख रहत सदा निर्लेपी, जाको कहत गुसाई। सो तुम ही मह बसे निरंतर, नानक दर्पण न्यायी। Here, the first verse frames an existential question that has clear echoes in philosophy, in psychology, in existential thought. I mean, it is the perennial question to ask about the human condition. What is being asked is, how shall we live? Prani Kaun Upau Karai. What means can a living being adopt? Jata, so that Bhagat Ram ki pave, so that it awakens to devotional love for the self, the Ram, the all-pervasive Ram. Jam ko tras harai, and be freed from the fear of death. Harai is to be freed from, to be snatched away from. So this is really the existential angst that we as humans cannot escape. It is the uncertainty and impermanence of life, the anxiety of death that is constantly upon us. So the question is, how do we shift from what is a fear-based mode of existence to one grounded in harmony with the self, the whole? And the answer is in the second line, Jate Bhagat Ram ki pave. That's the solution. Ram ki Bhagat, it means cultivation of devotion, an intimacy, and an awareness of an indwelling self. Bhagat Ram ki. This is what is meant by to love the self. And this means, among other things, to realize that the self is the cosmic person, if you want to think about it in anthropomorphic terms. It is the cosmic person, the essence of the universe that is reflected in every being. So reflected in you, reflected in me. So when you have this realization of being a reflection of this universal cosmic person, you begin to develop a cosmic perspective about yourself. And when you awaken to the presence of this cosmic essence within and allow it to emerge, What does that do? It collapses the smallness, if you will, of the ego, because we are now identified with the ego and it is scared. It is afraid because it knows not who it is. But once it begins to realize that it is really a reflection of this universal self that essentially is always present, never dies, doesn't come about through birth, then that fear naturally begins to evaporate. So the question continues about lifestyle now. So first is the perennial question. Then the question becomes, Kaun karam, vidya kaho kaisi? Kaun karam. Karam here is a reference to religious ritual. What practice should I adopt? Vidya kaho, what learning? Kaisi? Dharam kaun fun kari. So, kaun karam, what ritual? Vidya kaho kaisi? Tell me what kind of learning? Dharam kaun fun kari. Dharam means a lifestyle, but more narrowly it means what moral and ethical codes should I adopt? What should the lifestyle be? How should I live again? And it continues, because the Guru here is contrasting. Then he says, Kaun Naam. What is the wisdom of the name? The wisdom of the self. Kaun Naam. Gur jaake simre. Which, when remembered through the Guru's instruction, Gur jaake simre. Bhavasagar ko tari. We will ferry across the ocean of existence. This is another way of saying we will overcome our fear of death. So, essentially, the Guru has highlighted ritual, learning, and morality by asking what rituals, what learning, what lifestyle. So, what is being, by stacking these categories, what the Guru is saying is that the human tendency to seek security through external structures is not enough, that in themselves they are not enough. It is not a question of what is right or wrong. It is just saying they are not enough. What has to be done is awareness of Naam. And for that, the Gur is needed. That must go hand in hand with whatever lifestyle you have. So this is amplified in the following stanza, which says, Kal main ek naam. Kal main ek naam. In the present age, only the wisdom of the name, Kirpa Nidhi, is the treasure of grace. That is the only way. Jahe jape gati pave. Jahe jape gati pave, by realizing which one attains liberation from fear. Aur dharamta ke sam nahin. This is pretty straightforward. No other way can equal it. Aur dharamta ke sam nahin. Eh vid. This method, this means, Ved batave. Even the Vedas testify to the truth of this statement. So what the Guru is saying is, in this age of Kali Yuga is associated with distraction, confusion, fragmentation. It's called the Dark Age. The Guru is saying there is only one essential means, and that is remembrance of Naam. We've talked about remembrance being the only method for connecting with Naam, because it is not through the cognitive apparatus that we have. We have to turn inward. And Naam is the Kirpa Nidhi, the treasure grace. So, what is being said is that all other forms fall short, emphasizing that without Naam, these practices remain hollow. And then this is further reinforced by endorsing the ancient authority of the Vedas themselves. They're addressing a population that seeks authentication from the Vedas. So what the Guru is telling his listeners is, look, even the Vedas are saying exactly what I'm telling you. It's Naam. So in an age that is overwhelmed by distraction, by noise, the one transformative discipline is this inner remembrance. And this is an inward alignment. Attentiveness, what Guruji has called sunya, attentive, shifting attention. And in the concluding stanza, we have a description of that state of mind. Sukh dukh rehat sada nirlepi. One who aligns becomes non-attached, either to pleasure or pain. Sukh dukh rehat sada nirlepi, stays non-attached, removed. Jako kahat gosai. Such an individual, if you will, is called a master, because this is mastery of the self. And then the Guru says that possibility, so tum hi meh basai nirantar, always, always, always present is that master within you. Nanak darpan nyai, like a reflection in a mirror. So a couple of comments are being made here. Nirlepa, untouched by opposites. We live in a world of opposites, in a world of polarity, but we have to adopt the middle path where we are unaffected by the extremes of polarity, so that we are not tossed about by shifting emotions, conditions. So you remain in a state of detachment. And then there is the indwelling presence. It is imminent. It is right within. And reflection in a mirror. That is to say, it is immediate. It's intimate. It's inseparable. So, the reflection has no independent existence apart from the mirror. And it reveals the form exactly. So you are the mirror, and what is reflected in you comes through that source. So the idea is not to identify with the shifting surface, but with the deeper ground within. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.